Good morning, all. Today's topic for discussion is ovulation. So, ovulation is nothing but the expulsion of the ovum, mature ovum, from the ovary. So, to study ovulation, we must first know the history of ovarian follicle, how it develops. So, follicles are formed in the ovary. This is a cut section showing you the diagram of ovary. You can see at the periphery is the cortex, which is stroma made up of connective tissue, and in center is the medulla, from where you can see the blood vessels traversing in the center. At the periphery, you see it is covered with the germinal epithelium, and you can see the follicles in various stages of development. So you can very well assess that follicles are developed in the cortical part of the ovary, and the follicles are seen in various stages of development, and one of them you can see here. You can see it is being ovulated coming out of the ovary, and also you can see the formation of corpus luteum. So the ovary are two in number. The function of ovary is that they produce the female sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone, and also produce the ova. The length of the ovary is 3.5 centimeter, the width is 2 centimeter, and thickness is 1 centimeter. We have already seen in the diagram that ovary has a central medulla and an outer cortex. The medulla consists of blood vessels and nerves. The ovarian follicle is the functional unit of ovary. It performs both gametogenic as well as the endocrine function. That means it is the ovarian follicle which secretes estrogen and progesterone and also participates in the fertilization. Before the puberty, the ovaries are inactive and the stroma has primordial follicles. So coming to the life history of a follicle, how it proceeds, we start with the resting primordial follicle. Then these primordial follicle, when goes under development, they proceed to pre-antral follicle. Now this pre-antral follicle further develops into antral follicle, and antral follicle develops into Graafian follicle. Now this Graafian follicle is the one, the mature follicle, which will finally ovulate, and then post ovulation the follicle forms the corpus luteum. So you can see that during embryogenesis the primordial germ cells migrate to gonads and they divide mitotically till 5th month of gestation. At 5th month, these 7 million oogonias enter into meiosis and become the primordial follicle. So when a female baby is born, she already has her 7 million primordial follicle reserve, and these primordial follicles, they form the ovarian reserve of a female. So this is a primordial follicle. You can see it is a very basic structure. The purple color lining you are seeing is the basal lamina, and the green one the flat squamous shaped granulosa cells. The granulosa cells here are squamous shaped and they are single layered, which are surrounded by the purple color basal lamina. In the center, this red color is a primary oocyte which is arrested in prophase phase of the meiosis 1, and this remains arrested for a long time. Now the function of this granulosa cell is that it provides nutrition to this developing oocyte and also secretes a oocyte maturation inhibiting factor, the factor which doesn't allow this primary oocyte to further grow. And the function of basal lamina is that it prevents the contact of this primordial follicle from the other cells, and also it limits the endocrine access of this primordial follicle. So this is the basic follicle which a baby is born with. So it is the earliest and the simplest follicle. The primary oocyte is surrounded by the simple epithelium, and this becomes the primordial follicle. Primordial follicle represents the ovarian reserve of the female. At birth they are 7 million, and puberty they are left only 3. 3 lakhs, and at menopause only 1000 primordial follicles are left. So why this happens? So कि at birth it is 7 million and then at puberty the number reduces to 3 lakhs. Actually these follicles undergo atresia also. So you know the number keeps on reducing and reducing. So at menopause the female is left only with 1000, and roughly we see a woman ovulate 450 ovum between menarche and menopause. The primary oocyte, as we have already discussed, is arrested in the prophase stage of meiosis 1. The single layer of granulosa precursor cell with the basal lamina. The granulosa precursor provides nutrient to the developing oocyte and also secretes oocyte maturation inhibiting factor. And the basal lamina prevents contact from any other cell. This primordial follicle do not have a blood supply of its own, and it has a limited access to the endocrine system. This limited access to the endocrine system is due to the basal lamina. Ovarian reserve is the total number of primordial follicles in the ovaries at any given moment, and the ovarian reserve decreases with age. Now, if this primordial follicle enters into a wave of development, it enters into the next stage, which is a primary pre-antral follicle. Now, antrum means cavity. Pre-antral means a stage just before the formation of the cavity. Now, you can see in the diagram that earlier this green color granulosa cell was squamous. Now, it has changed into cuboidal. Now the granulosa cell has become the cuboidal, but it is still single layered. You can see the purple colored basal lamina which is present here, and then you can see the blue dots appearing here. This is the fluid filled cavities start appearing in a very beginning stage, and these star shaped brown colored things are the FSH receptors which start appearing on this follicle. So primary preantral follicle is the primordial follicle which has entered into the next stage of development. It is formed of a single layer of cuboidal granulosa cell. The FSH receptors start appearing. Now, as this primary preantral follicle will further proceed for development, the granulosa cell will start developing and dividing mitotically. The fluid starts appearing in granulosa cells, and the oocyte slightly enlarges and the zona pellucida appears around the oocyte. Now secondary preantral follicle is the one. It has all other same characteristics which a primary preantral follicle has, except for the fact that this single layered granulosa cell now become the multi-layered granulosa cell. We have already discussed in the previous slide that the primary preantral follicle starts with the mitotic activity. The granulosa cells starts dividing. So when they divide, they form the secondary preantral follicle. So a secondary preantral follicle is one which has multiple layers of granulosa cells, and the oocyte grows in size to 100 micrometer. Now a mature secondary preantral follicle. Still, the follicle is preantral follicle. We are studying the subdivision of preantral follicle. So you call it a mature secondary preantral follicle when the theca cell layer appears. You can see outside the basal lamina, thus a layer of the cell is developing which is known as the theca cell layer. Now this theca cell layer divides into the external and internal cell. Now you can see this is the multi-layered granulosa cells. This is the oocyte with zona pellucida and the purple colored basal lamina. Now this mature secondary preantral follicle is develops into the antral follicle. Now why we are calling it a antral follicle? Because you can see the antrum has formed. This blue colored cavity is known as the antral cavity, which is filled with the fluid. So you can see the brown colored theca cell layers which have been divided into the external and internal. Then they have a basal lamina which is purple colored. Then you can see the multi-layered granulosa cells. the primary oocyte with zona pellucida, and the fluid-filled antral cavity now appears. This fluid-filled cavity divides these granulosa cells into two populations. It divides the granulosa cells into two populations, that is mural and the cumulus. Now this antral follicle will develop into the other stage, which is known as the Graafian follicle. Now this Graafian follicle is the mature follicle. Every follicle tries to reach this Graafian follicle stage because here at this point the ovum will be released from the ovary and ovulation will occur. So you can see this is the theca cell layer, this is the mural granulosa cells, this is the antrum fluid filled cavity, and this is the so this Graafian follicle, you can see the antrum cavity is filled with the fluid, and this is the oocyte with zona pellucida, and you can see a population of granulosa cells surrounding the primary oocyte. This entire complex is known as the cumulus oophorus complex. So Graafian follicle is the dominant follicle among all. It was described first by the Regnier de Graaf, so the name Graafian follicle. The size is 12 to 16 millimeter. There is a huge number of granulosa cells as well as the theca cells. It has a large antrum which contains the liquor folliculi, and the secondary oocyte is formed with first polar body, and the oocyte completes the first meiotic division. So you can see the granulosa cell population is divided into the mural granulosa cells, which forms the outer wall of the follicle, and the cumulus cells which surrounds the oocyte. This cumulus cell and the oocyte together form the cumulus oocyte complex. And then these follicles actually they go through a phase known as the ovarian cycle, which has the 3 phases, and this we will be discussing in the part 2 of the lecture. Thank you.